All right. So this is our second hangout, and we're just gonna go for it. So my first tool that I researched was Newsela, and Newsela is an awesome database of nonfiction texts. A lot of it is current events like daily news, and there's so many articles. There's like 1,000 articles or over 1,000 articles. There's new articles every day, and they're all organized by category and reading level. There's this cool option where you can pay to be part of the Pro program, and there's so many different things that teachers have access to with the Pro. There's like classroom sets where you can track students' progress in different quizzes that they can take online. There's prompts online that you can borrow. There's a live chat support uh, on the Pro option as well. It's really cool. So one of my critical uses that I want to talk, or the critical use I want to talk about, is that it brings nonfiction into the classroom in really awesome ways. It covers so many topics like war and peace, science. There's a kids section, money, health, law, arts, sports. It's so relevant, and there's so many topics that kids are really going to enjoy reading about. And then my insight, we actually used Newsela in my creative arts instruction class, and it was actually really fun. We got to talk about different activities that you could use across all the content areas with just this one nonfiction text. So it was really awesome.
I think that Zella and other great thing comes from it is the fact that you can change the reading level for each article is the same speed. Even if one student has the article in a more advanced type of writing and another student has it simplified, they still all get to understand and read that article. So I think that's really cool to have that option. I haven't seen another. And for an insight, I also use it in my creative arts class. I saw it, and I just thought awesome. It has really relevant right now. Little kids don't like the things going around us today's world. They just read like the non or the fiction books in the classroom. So I think it's awesome that you could share news articles right now and get them like feeling like they're part of the world and they know everything that's going on. So I think it's a really
All right. I think definitely with Common Core switching to like more of a nonfiction, it definitely helps bring more nonfiction books into the classroom. And I also think that like if you're reading a book, like a fiction book, it'd be real cool to use this database to search books on a similar topic and show relation between like nonfiction books and fiction books. Like I said, like Common Core switching to more nonfiction, like this database definitely gives you more variety and like a wider just choice of books that fits.
yeah. All right.
All right.
So was called Ruby Star, and this was a website that lets you create rubrics, and you save and edit rubrics. And it says you can access them on home, where with a computer you can view. And when you go to the website, it gives you a list of subjects like math and writing and science, and you can choose which subject you want to make the rubric. And for example, I clicked on writing, and so if you go to writing, it'll give you more options of different types of rubrics. For example, there's a rubric for persuasive writing and for letter writing, and all the different things you're going to teach your students about writing. So if I chose persuasive writing, for example, and I needed a rubric for that, it'll pop up a blank rubric with the 4, 3, 2, 1 categories, and it'll give you drop-down menus on the side that allow you to pick what you want to grade. So if you want to grade their opening sentence and their grammar and their sentence structure, you click on that and it fills in the rubric for you. So it's really, really cool, and it's really fast and easy. And I think a good critical user can use it when they're on a big time crunch, because a lot of teachers will make an assignment, and if they don't have time to think of a whole rubric, this website like allows them to run really fast, and it's just great when you're always busy grading and this and that, weight off their shoulder by just giving the rubric. And for critical insight, I know for my language arts class I'm taking right now, we had to make a lesson plan and include a rubric, and I personally didn't know what to put in the rubric. I was like, what should I grade them on? And I think that this website would have been perfect for me to use if I knew about it beforehand, because I would have just picked the categories I wanted to grade them on, and then it would have made it for me. So I think it's a really great tool for anytime you have to make a rubric.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think a critical use I would use it for are, I mean, the students are going to be able to get used to your grading style, and it's so consistent. Like you're going to be using the same kind of outline that the Rubisar gives you. So it really gives the students a chance to work with your teaching style, with your grading style, especially for older ages. And then a critical insight, I think that's a great tool, especially I haven't used rubric in any of my lessons yet, but I know I'm going to have to use them, and so I think that's a great place for me to start when I do start using rubrics.
For sure. I think Groupstar is a great tool. Like you said, it was fast and it's also very time efficient. I feel like it gives students like a clear objective so they can see like step by step what they need to do to be successful in whatever project or assignment. And I feel like I definitely none of the teachers I have currently like ask for rubrics, but I still think that as a future teacher, it's going to be important. So important to provide students with a rubric so like I said, they can see like what they need to do on each step of the assignment. My next one was UDL Exchange, and UDL Exchange is like a digital library where you can search, create, and share UDL-based lessons. Kind of similar to like Digo, like an online digital library. You're able to search lessons by their purpose, their grade, and like a real cool feature that I find out, you can search it by the Common Core standard. And you're able to collaborate with educators all over the country, and you can see their lessons. They can see yours. You can leave recommendations and comments on their lessons. Some of the resources that UDL Exchange is has different websites, has different documents, stuff like that. Also, like the UDL resources, like I said, it has documents, websites, images, presentations, has audio files, video files, and that support the implementation of UDL. Also, the lessons address variability, which is all that UDL really stresses, is having lessons that are differentiated and can affect all different learning styles. Some of the features, like the tools they have, is the share, so you can work with other educators and colleagues, which is really important because I feel like as an educator, you always want to be bouncing ideas off of different educators. And also the remix tool, where you receive a copy of another educator's lesson, and you can like change it to tweak like your own teaching style or tweak to whatever you're teaching in that content area. And you can also recommend UDL lessons to other teachers. So like if you're on a team of teachers and you think this lesson might click with this one teacher, you can recommend it to them. And you can also favorite. So I think I'll definitely use it like in my own, maybe you don't have to even like use the whole lesson, but just get ideas, different ideas from UDL. Like if you're having a problem differentiating lessons, you can definitely look at some of these UDL lessons and see how you can differentiate lessons for your own students.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
that's okay.
I think it is a great website, and the part that stands out the most to me is the fact that you can search by standards, because like use is, well, for every lesson plan you're going to have to put which standard that you're teaching to. So I think it's cool you can plug in the standard and then it'll just pop up all of the lesson plans that go to that standard. So that's just awesome. I don't know if websites do that like anymore, if they ever did it. And for critical insight, for me personally, I know that I'm soon going to be a first-year teacher, and the Common Core is so new, and I'm not going to know how to teach all these lessons because it's brand new to me, like teaching and everything. So I think this website will be very beneficial for me and any first-year teacher because they can just pop in the standard, they'll get ideas, and even if they don't use that exact thing, like Quincy said, you can just get ideas, and it'll, I feel like, build your confidence, make you feel better about what you're teaching because you see all these examples. So it's a really helpful website.
Yeah, my critical insight is kind of similar to yours. I know my mom is a very seasoned teacher. I think she's passed, I don't even know how many years, probably over 25 years of teaching. Who knows? Like she's been a teacher for a very long time, and so Common Core is new to her. So I think her having uh, this website, this UDL exchange, that's so beneficial because she's able to see what new teachers are bringing to the field with the UDL lessons and the Common Core standards. And then a critical use, I also liked that you could look for a UDL lesson by topic, and like you could search one topic and just find a plethora of different lessons that you could use that go along with the Common Core standards. So that's awesome. So my next tool is called Plickers, and it's an assessment tool, and it's really fast. It's instant. But the cool thing about it is students get their own card with a shape on it, and everybody's shapes are different, but each side of the shape has a letter on it, A, B, C, D. So when you want them to answer a question like with the A, B, C, or D, they just hold that side with the letter up on top. And nobody else can see what letter they're holding up. It's really small. You can only see it if you're looking at the page, but you also can't cheat off of anybody else's answer because all the shapes are different. And so then when everybody holds up their shape, the teacher will scan the room with their smartphone or any other camera device, and the answers are recorded instantly, and the teacher gets instant feedback with that. It's really engaging, and there's no wait time at all. I think a critical use is that like you can assign students a number, just like you could with any other clicker activity. They can get a number, and then it's just so fast. Like there's no logging in. There's no like it's so much faster. You just get that instant card, and it's just really great to get the answers from them in a really fun way. And then an insight would be that we used Plickers in my language arts instruction class, and it was just really cool for me to see my own number as I held up my card, and the teacher candidate was scanning my card across the room, and I saw my number glow green. It was just really cool. I know he had an iPhone and it worked really well, and then another girl tried it later with an Android and it didn't work so well. So I think there is that little blurb in technology, like you have to be careful what you're using, but other than that, it's so engaging, and I really like it as a new form of assessment.
Yeah, that's really cool. I've heard of Kahoot, which I thought was an awesome tool, but Plickers I've never heard of, but I think it's awesome, and it's a great way to prevent downtime because, like you said, it's really fast. You don't need to log in. You don't need to take the time to get out your phone, sign in, wait for everybody. I think it's cool that you can just hold up your card, the teacher scans it, and that's that. So for my use, I think it's a great tool if you don't want to waste class time, if it's really critical for you to make the most of your limited time. This is a great review, and it'll save time. And for an insight, from learning about it, I see that it's great with technology and also like handheld, like holding the cards. And the fact that they're really cheap is awesome, and you can just go print out these cards and laminate them, and like first year or any year teachers are going to want to not spend that much money for their classroom, but you know that you need to. And so something like this is great to save money. It's an awesome assessment and technology tool to have in your classroom. So yeah, I really
I think it's a great like informal assessment for teachers to use to see like which students are getting content and which students are kind of struggling to get the correct answers. But also, I feel like it would promote participation within the classroom because a lot of students won't raise their hands for fear of being wrong. But with this, like students can confidently answer the question and not be afraid of getting the wrong answer from their classmates. Also, it will keep students very engaged in the lesson. And I feel like it's like a big upgrade from like the classic like write your answers on the whiteboard and then hold it up to the teacher. I feel like just technology has like grown us. I guess with this and Kahoot, it's kind of like replacing like the old-fashioned like whiteboards. So I just feel like it's like a really positive step forward with technology.
So now, Christy, we just need your last tool.
yeah. Sorry, my computer was freezing.
That's okay.
But my last tool was called Ant, and it is a video annotation tool. And so when you go to the website, it's really simple. All it has is a box that tells you to enter the URL. I don't know. Sorry, I really lost connection. Okay, so sorry.
It's okay.
And so once you enter the URL, the video will pop up, and then it'll give you a list of directions, like 3 easy directions that it tells you to start the video by pressing play, and the video will start playing. And then it tells you when you're ready to add an annotation, click on the button on the bottom, and then fill out the annotation form, then click save. So it's really cool because as you're watching the video, you can click the annotation button at any time, and it pauses at that exact time, and it pops up, and you can type what you're thinking about that part and whatever comments, questions, like anything, just write it down real quick. And I think that a good way is that annotate videos, and done, it can be emailed to the teacher. The assignment, all the students can fill it out, and it'll be sent to the teacher, so you can look and see what all the students are about, if they're understanding the video or not. That was a great use of it. And for critical insight, for me personally, and video and collect notes and the next part that's playing. So this website's cool because when you click the annotation button, the video pauses, write what you need to write, and then you can click play. So you're not missing anything in the video. You are watching it all while taking notes. So I think that that's great, like for people like me who can't multitask, so I can just focus on one thing and then go back to the video. So I think that it's a really cool tool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think for critical use, that goes back to UDL. I mean, this is such a great opportunity for students to show what they know in a different way rather than writing an essay, or even like presenting what they've learned onto a PowerPoint. You know, all those ways that we've seen countless times. This is a new way. And for my critical insight, I think it's awesome that like it goes right to the teacher. It's sort of similar to the dialogue journals that we just learned about in language arts instruction. And so it's that really great feedback and connection from student to teacher as they answer and annotate the video. That's really awesome.
I think one of my critical insights is that it allows the teacher to see who's comprehending information in the video, being able to see like what the student wrote with the annotation tool allows them like to see like their thought process and what they thought about the video. I think it also promotes online learning because the teacher wouldn't have to like stand in front of you and lecture. They could probably post a video and get feedback from the students via their annotation notes. And just like you were saying with the UDL, it's always good to have more than one way to assess student learning. I feel like by assessing their annotation notes is a great way to just like differentiate learning and kind of like make the playing field even for all types of learners.
Nice. So that was all 5 of our tools for this time, and I think we're going to stop it now. Awesome.